Welcome back to Healthy Bites. Today I'm going to show you a recipe of a really favorite dish of mine called chutney puri or gunpowder as it's famously called. So chutney puri is a mix of different dals and herbs and is something that we love to have either with rice or rolled up in our chapati, and it's our fast food snack. The ingredients are chana dal, dried coconut, urad dal, moong dal, curry patta, dried red chilies, tamarind, hing or asafoetida, pudina, coriander, jaggery, salt and garlic. So I'm going to show you how to make this recipe without using any oil, because oil is highly processed and refined and therefore detrimental to our health and absolutely not necessary. When a recipe has coconut, that gives us enough lubrication and we definitely don't need oil in our diet then. So the first thing is to dry roast all the greens off. So the coriander, the mint and the curry patta. And this is what gives the whole chutney puri its fragrance. So the more you add of these three, the better it is. I'm also going to add in the dried red chilies and the garlic at this point. And just gently toast it off. You just need to keep moving it a little bit. As soon as you can smell the fragrance of it, it's done. Turn it off, put it into a bowl to cool down, and we'll dry roast the dals. So to dry roast the dals, you don't have to roast them separately one by one. It is time consuming. What you can do instead is put in the chana dal first, followed by the urad dal and finally the moong dal. So in the same hot pan, absolutely no need of oil, just roast it off gently. So I like to use garlic in my chutney puri because garlic is a superfood. It's actually really good at combating cold. So if you have a cold, just pop in a garlic pod. And I remember when I went to Leh Ladakh, I was told that you have a garlic pod every morning to help combat altitude sickness, and it really did help. I didn't take any other medicine. I just ate a garlic pod in the morning about 5 days prior to going there. Made quite a difference. And there are lots of studies that are now showing that having a good amount of garlic in your diet can help with Alzheimer's, dementia. Even though you may get these diseases, it's not going to progress as fast because obviously garlic has something that helps fight against it. So use garlic wherever you can. It's a really healthy thing and it makes everything delicious. So chutney puri is a huge hit in South India. Most every house will have their own recipe for chutney puri. It's just something that we love to have with our rice with a little bit of ghee, or you roll it up in a chapati, and that used to be my favorite thing to carry to school and college. And very nutritious because it's got pudina and curry patta and coriander. All of them are great digestives and help to combat any heavy food that we have eaten. And of course, it's got all the protein, it's got all these dals. So it's a great way to sort of get nutrition into our body without realizing it. So let the three dals now roast off. You just want them a little golden brown, not more than that, otherwise they become bitter. And give it a couple of minutes, keep stirring it in between. So once the dals have roasted and have cooled down a little, next step is very easy. Just put it all into the mixie. So what you're going to do is put the dals and all the greens and the dried red chili into the mixie. Make it into a fine powder. Do not add the rest of the ingredients at this point, otherwise you'll have a really soggy paste. So while I make that into a powder, I'm going to dry roast the kobri. Now it's very important that you use dried coconut and not fresh coconut, because this is something that is stored for a long time and we don't store it in the fridge, it's stored outside. So it's very important that you use dried coconut and use a lot of it. The more coconut you use, the nicer the taste. And this is where I'm also going to put in the asafoetida or hing. And again, gently dry roast it to a golden brown. You don't want anything more than that. If it's darker than that, it'll get bitter as it is stored for a longer time. So then just throw it out and start anew. So you can see the powdered mix is still a little coarse. It's not as fine because we're going to powder it through again. And I remember when my mother-in-law taught me this recipe, she said you've got to do it stage by stage. If you put it all together because you're in a hurry, the end result is not going to be as good. So we're now going to powder again. It's a really simple process to make chutney puri. It's just about roasting and powdering. But just be careful of the order because I know how quickly the result can change and you want a beautiful end product. So now we're going to mix together the dried coconut which has been roasted, all the rest of our mixture, the jaggery, salt and tamarind. So everything is ground up beautifully and I like to roast it one last time. And this time what I do is I put in a little bit of oil, unrefined oil, and if I can find groundnut oil, that's even better. It lends a really nice taste to the chutney puri. and that just helps to store it for that much longer. So just roast it gently. You can see it's got a beautiful color. It doesn't require any more color. You just want all the different spices and herbs to mix together well at this point, which is why I'm roasting it one last time. So keep stirring it. Don't go outside and do something else. Stay with this at this point. You've put in this much of effort, it requires a few more minutes, that's all. And then you will have something that you can keep munching into whenever you need. So I love chutney puri because you can use it with everything. Extremely versatile, and I also use it as a flavoring for my sabzis and dals at times. So instead of making a fresh batch of some flavoring, just put a handful of chutney puri into it and it's ready. So keep dry roasting it for a couple of more minutes and then it'll be done. So this is my recipe for chutney puri, or gunpowder as it's fondly called, made even healthier by adding garlic. So do try it out. Have it with some hot rice, hot brown rice mind you, not white rice. Have it with some hot brown rice with a little bit of ghee or groundnut oil, or wrap it up in a chapati, or use it as a flavoring for your sabzis and dals. Absolutely versatile, really healthy and yummy.